If you were to could snap your fingers and all this could be, working smoothly, what's your vision, what's your dream down the road for how this would all run? I mean, obviously you'd work less hours because you wouldn't be as responsible, but
Well,
outside of that, what would it look like?
so if I could snap my fingers, my dream for this place would be, so I believe that, aerospace and defense and, that kind of industry is where the money's at. And so I would like to build Milpro up and keep Milpro being the professional kind of aerospace look company and create it so it's all like lights out manufacturing. I toured one facility that was lights out and I was blown away. Yeah, all these crazy robot arms everywhere. And the guy was basically telling me, he goes, yeah, I come in once a week. There's pallets of finished parts, all 100% inspected, printed out, inspection reports, the whole nine on a pallet for me to go deliver and make $1 million. And then the whole place just runs on its own. So
Hey, welcome to the Systems Edge. This is the podcast where we talk operations and we talk about what works, what doesn't work. We try to pull back the curtain and talk to somebody who knows what they're talking about, or at least has some good, bad, or ugly to share with us. And today, I got Brandon Rozell from Mill Pro Metal. Thank you. Thank you for being on the show today. Really appreciate it. So I always start off the same. Why don't you tell us, Brandon, a little bit about yourself, your business, what you guys do, and maybe what a typical day looks like for you.
I'm Brandon and the owner of Milpro. I just started the company the idea of it back in 2020. Actually birthed the company probably in 2022, got my first piece of equipment, and then started only making money in 2024. And then, we
Nice.
scaled up pretty fast and now we're got a full operation running.
Nice, nice. What's a typical day look like for you then? Do you have a typical day?
But I'm still kind of at the point where I'm wearing a lot of hats. And so it's varies depending on the day. We're a job shop also. So, we're
Okay.
constantly adjusting and redoing our shop to fit whatever customer needs are.
Yeah, yeah. If you were to fast forward 12 months from now, what type of things you guys have to have happen to hit your targets then? What internally like um
I would like to get certified, like the AS 9100 certified. I got to a
oh,
point where
yeah.
I'm like audit pending, and we just haven't pulled the trigger on spending the money yet. And so,
Yep, yep.
yeah, I'd like to get certified. I'd like to get my just control over other aspects. The tooling and the kind of getting control of the material handling and whatnot. It gets a little chaotic.
Mhm. Mhm. I can imagine. Yeah. I hate to jump right into the deep end of the pool with you on that because I like to wade in, but since you brought it up, I'll just say what's that look like when you unpack that one for me when you say it gets chaotic? What's operationally? It says operations. So
Well, I mean,
what's an example? What's an example of that?
just this one job from this automotive company. They have one purchase order that has like 15 different material types on there, and some of them need grinding, and some have to go to black oxide and heat treat, and trying to like coordinate when to get what jobs done and get them all, so we're not paying multiple lot prices when we get the black oxide done and whatnot, and trying to keep
Mhm.
the quality under control and everything going smooth while machining parts over here, and then
Yeah.
so the customer's breathing down your neck the whole time too.
Yeah. Yeah. You got literally a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
So how are you guys tracking that type of stuff now? Just using Excel spreadsheets or just
Um,
human, just more just looking at it where things are at?
yeah, so I kind of fell in the same habit that I watched my dad do. So my dad was old school and he did everything just, if he wasn't there, everything burned down. He had everything going on in his head. So I would like to create
Uh-huh.
processes so, that won't happen as much, but it's easy to fall into old habits. So I kind of been, it's all just stored in my head. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Especially, as you grow, you're already probably learning. You got to get some processes in place, and I'm sure you're working on that. But in the beginning, in the small, you wear a lot of hats, right? You're chief cook and bottle washer, as you often say. So, um, do you guys use any spreadsheets to track things? Are you tracking anything in software at all?
Yeah, I use QuickBooks, and then I have a ton of Excel spreadsheets that we're kind of doing, and yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, yeah, that's common. It is common. I've seen actually in this seen shops 100 people, 200 people. Now you run the whole shop on spreadsheets. Not to say it couldn't be better, as it can be better at any point in time, but they're still running on that. Of course, that's why they call us in sometimes. It needs to go to the next level.
The tough part about what we do is like we're a total job shop. We don't really have that much like production, like repeat, large
Hmm.
quantities. And so it's very hard to
Yep.
standardize like what we're doing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like nothing really
Absolutely.
has like a set standard because we're constantly adjusting and moving and changing fixtures.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely. Job shops are. You know what it seems like, and I don't know, maybe this isn't the case in your job shop, but like job shops typically have a lot of the bill of material seems to be the biggest challenge I've seen. Is that true with you guys? Just
Yeah.
because you got, yeah,
Yeah. We're
it's
doing
always a bill of
everything
material.
from, I have to get this rubber, I'm machining rubber for the first time. And then I did ink now. And then I did aluminum over here. And then tools. Yeah. It's wild. Just the variety of materials.
Yeah. 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 And it's all in your head. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yep, absolutely.
Can't get sick.
No, I understand. I understand. So, if you're going to grow really, really fast, or you got some, is it possible to grow really, really fast in that environment? And you think you could, if you could double or triple your business? Oh, I guess maybe the better way to ask it, what would break? You know?
Think I won't be able to do it on my own. I think I need to build a team of people that I
Hmm.
can like count on and that are competent. And that's what I'm working on now. Uh, I'd like to believe that I can do it all myself, but yeah, no, I got a family to at home, so I'd like to spend a little more time with them. And so yeah, I gotta bite the bullet and delegate.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So when you do get busy, what are some of the things that break first? I guess in your processes, is it um
Well,
and it's another way to ask the question about pain points, right?
so my biggest issue was we got real slow at the end of last year, real slow. And so I ended up going from a crew of 10 down to just three of us at the shop. And then just this last Monday, I have work now coming out of my ears. We only have three dudes in the shop. And so, yeah,
Wow.
I had to do a real quick hire. I had my neighbor and one of my buddy's roommates. And so we had to get a quick crew together, but it's a total green team. So now we're trying to train them while we have all this work piling up. And so that was kind of a thing right there, just finding talent and people who's willing to sit at a machine and change parts.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. So you got to hiring, I guess, was a big issue, um, especially last minute. That's so common, isn't it? I mean, in your world, and from what I hear, right?
Yeah.
You get a big job, you need help, and then you can't afford to keep them on. You got to turn them off, and
Yeah. Job comes and it
just
goes
a
away.
big challenge.
Yeah.
Comes and goes. Yeah, so quick, so quick. That's got to be a real challenge. Um, what's what is a good day operationally look like for you guys?
Good day operationally. I mean, no machine crashes, no
Okay.
injuries,
Yep.
tools broken. I don't know. I don't know, just
Yeah.
customers staying happy, not yelling at me. That's always a plus. I mean, I always
Sure.
joke with my buddy. I'm like, we're not asking for much. We're just asking you to be perfect. And so, that's kind of what our customers expect.
Yep. Yep. Are you guys when you're how do you manage inventory? Is that also visual pretty much?
Yeah.
I mean, because
Yeah.
the smaller shops, you just kind of be able to scan it and look with your eyeballs and
Yeah. We
see
do
what's
the
there. Is that kind of how
first
you
in,
manage?
first out method. So I mean,
Yeah.
I quote with McMaster, so I know the prices are a little higher, but they're also next day, and so
Hmm.
that is kind of like
Yep.
amusing.
Yep. Absolutely. Has any supply chain disruptions affected your business?
Yeah, yeah. I'm waiting on a bunch of brass that is lost in the country somewhere, and so they're trying to piece some bars together to get my order set up. Yeah, that's kind of
Right.
kicking kicking us a little bit.
I can imagine.
We're in a
What's
this
some
will
of
be a
your
ch
most time oh, go on. I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
like, my location of the shop, my where my dad got this building 8 years ago or something, it's the greatest location. We have industrial metal right behind us, our anodizer's right next to us, like, it's pretty
Nice.
walking distance, so that's nice.
Nice. That's awesome. So, what's some of the most time-consuming administrative stuff you deal with?
Quoting.
Quoting. Do you use
Yeah.
a quoting process or software?
We used to use Henning Estatrack software, but that's also a little too extreme for the, operation we're running, and so, you know, like, the lady kind of offended me when she was like, "Oh, you don't need a college degree at all for this," and then, I went to go set it up, and I'm looking at it going like, "I don't know what any of this means," like, and so, yeah, I think she kinda downplayed it a little there, and we spent a bunch of money on it,
Uh-huh.
but that would help with the quoting, and that kinda got my, base idea of how to do it. But it comes down to my dad calls it a swag, a swing wild out of your ass guess. So
Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
sorry about the profanity. But
Mhm. No, I get it.
yeah, so
It
we
makes
kind of
sense.
depending per customer, we kind of judge it accordingly.
Yeah. What type of stuff keeps you up at 2 in the morning operationally? Everything?
Yeah, that's actually where I come up with my best ideas. And I'd wake up in the middle of the night, like I know I'm going to
Okay.
do that part.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. So, what do you think you need to do? I mean, I actually asked you this question already. You said hire better people, but outside of hiring better people, maybe it comes to systems or softwares or business systems. If to grow, to get to the next level, what types of things do you think you will need to do at some point?
Just the processes actually have like a system set up to where I'm not the one doing it all. I think that would be huge.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that and then yeah, I think mostly just kinda creating the processes so I can delegate more because right now it's just me. Yeah.
Sure, sure. Yeah, maybe implementing some more softwares into your to getting guys to enter stuff. I know that can be the biggest challenge is getting adoption, right? If everybody's in the shop used to doing it one way, trying to get them to,
Yeah,
you
and
know,
the crew I do have, has known me since I was 7 years old, and so a lot of these guys are like my uncle kinda thing, you know?
yeah,
And
yeah,
so, trying to teach them new ways to do things after my dad was boss for so long and then I'm stepping in is very difficult. These guys don't wanna, change the way they're doing things. And so that is probably my biggest hurdle right now is just kind of implementing any change. These guys just meet me
hmm
front force, just don't want to do it. Yeah. So I think
yeah,
kind of building my team. I think I need a team.
yeah, 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 yeah. Getting adoption is I think it's 34% of softwares that people buy don't get used because they couldn't get adoption. They couldn't get people to use them, and blunt force only goes so far. You got to get buy-in, right? That's like before you even change a system, like, hey, we need to be more efficient, and they got to understand the whys and all that kind of stuff. So it can be challenging. So are there any numbers that you wish you could see but you can't or don't see? Like, you said you use QuickBooks, pull reports, things like that. Is that something you're able to do or things you aren't able to do because those systems aren't in place yet?
Yeah, I would like to be able to see my inventory more. It's kind of
Mm-hmm.
we have like bins where all right, the 6061 aluminum goes over here, we got tool steels, like it's all separate and stuff. But like when it comes down to like, all right, do we have enough material to get this job done with what's in the house? That would be
Right.
amazing if I could kinda just go to a spreadsheet and see what we have, but I feel like that is, like, needs a dedicated person or, like you said, software that just, somebody's just putting in the data, just that's
Mm-hmm.
their job, and I don't wanna pay somebody to do that.
Yeah, yeah, and that's at the end of the day. Just, I mean, if I were to ask you to unpack that, at the end of the day, that's what it's about, right? You got to have someone who's,
Yeah, dedicated and motivated enough
that'll
to do it.
hustling. They're now doing something here for
Do
the
it right.
long term good, but in the short term, it's challenging. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then
So
just getting them to do it right, that's a big thing too. I mean, like, people will tell me like, "Oh, yeah, got it. I know exactly what you want," and then they just go somewhere totally off with it. I'm like, "Did you hear me? Are
right,
you listening to anything I said?" "Yeah."
right, right, right. Yep, for sure. So, What's the impact of that on your business then? By not being able to.
I had, a couple of angry customers come at me. They would come and want to check out the process, and I'm kind of showing them, and they're going like, "Well, what the hell are you doing with the
Mhm.
material over here?" I'm like, "Well, it's supposed to go this way, but Jose over here,
Uh-huh.
only hears 3 words that I'm saying, and so
Aw,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the language barrier, that's a big one.
Gotcha. Yeah, language barrier, yeah, gotcha. Yeah, so the impact is yeah, so you got operationally then, you've got your work cut out for it, sounds like all small businesses do. I mean, you're describing things that a lot of small businesses have to go through. They have to get the right people, not just on the right bus, but in the right seat on the bus, and,
Mhm.
um, getting to that next level can be challenging. So, and I know you said everything keeps you awake at night, but, if you were to could snap your fingers and all this could be, working smoothly, what's your vision, what's your dream down the road for how this would all run? I mean, obviously you'd work less hours because you wouldn't be as responsible, but
Well,
outside of that, what would it look like?
so if I could snap my fingers, my dream for this place would be, so I believe that, aerospace and defense and, that kind of industry is where the money's at. And so I would like to build Milpro up and keep Milpro being the professional kind of aerospace look company, and create it so it's all like lights out manufacturing. I toured one facility that was lights out, and I was blown away. Yeah, all these crazy robot arms everywhere. And the guy was basically telling me, he goes, "Yeah, I come in once a week. There's pallets of finished parts, all 100% inspected, printed out, inspection reports, the whole nine on a pallet for me to go deliver and make $1 million. And then the whole place just runs on its own." So I've had that stuck in my head forever. And so I would like to build this place up, kind of create like a fully automated, lights out
Mm,
manufacturing, top quality,
sure.
reputable brand, and then branch off. And I started a second company called Outlast Engineering. And that's where I'd like to follow my passion of the outdoors, and kind of do survival gear and like my products. And so, yeah, I want to go down that avenue of manufacturing as well, and kind of like see what it's like making my products, not other people's design so much, but kind of invest a little bit more into me. And then that way I feel like I can involve my family a little bit more and find avenues of where they succeed, and they can branch off. So we could do like content creation. My kids could do like activities while camping, and go YouTube channel
Yeah,
that out. And
yeah,
my wife can be like, "My husband keeps bringing dead animals home. This is how we cook them." So a little cooking show, or I don't know, something funny like that. But yeah, no, I like what I do
uh-huh.
for work, and I believe work defines you. So I'd like to stay busy and figure out a way to involve my family.
Yeah, you've got an entrepreneurial spirit, it sounds like a little bit, so for sure. I mean, not just for being a small business owner, but you've got that you're seeing shiny objects like I do all the time, right? So,
Yeah, yeah. I always got
opportunities everywhere, isn't there?
to work towards something. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So going back to operations, you described for me about what, uh, it could look like, what you would hope it looked like, down the road. So, what's a good next step for you guys to get to just sort of get on that step, the lowest level of the ladder you're climbing? Like, what's the next step for you? What does that look like operationally? Automation, processes, software, whatever. What does that look like for you guys?
I think I need to get somebody who is experienced in, kind of taking it to the next level, and bring their knowledge and wisdom into the shop. Because right now I feel like we are trying to get to that next step, but we're limited with, you know, we're keeping the same people and the same skill set, and but we're trying to get to this next level, and we don't really have that voice or experienced person that'll like
Mm,
guide us and nudge us. So I think I'm going to start looking for somebody who I can like bring on. I read this book called Jet Fuel or Rocket Fuel or something, about how there's like the most successful companies always had a like a team, like a dual team. So one guy is like the
mhm,
visionary, big picture, real friendly, go lucky guy who can kind of like have the creative thoughts and know where to go. And then they have kind of like the executioner, or the guy who, knows how to get it done. This guy is making the
mhm,
idea. This guy actually knows the steps to take. So I want to find that guy who knows what steps to take to actually
mhm,
implement some of these ideas I have. Because I have ideas all the
mhm.
time.
So kind of a kind of a GM of sorts that can kind of understand every facet of your business and
Mhm.
then um, give you kind of your next steps, but also be the implementer and
Yeah, and
stuff
just
like.
bring that knowledge and wisdom because we do so much job shop and prototype stuff that we don't have a lot of experience in like creating big fixtures around lots of parts. And we're starting to get some
Mm,
of those customers in. And so I want to, make my processes more efficient with like fixturing and tooling
hmm
like that. But we're so in that,
hmm
get that one part done and make it perfect mentality for the prototype kind of like industry that we don't really get a time to like dial in and make our processes more efficient. The cycle time
Yeah,
point.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So right now it's more of a macro approach to operations, like philosophical to because it sounds like you're not even really sure what necessarily would be the best step.
Yeah,
Um, so like so where do you begin, right? And so it sounds like you're on the right track there personally. Like, yeah, find someone who does.
bring somebody in and has the wisdom. Yeah, I think that's like the big.
Yeah. And then obviously they need to be empowered, right, to do it. And that can be painful, right? I mean, you're talking about people that don't want to change necessarily and they're an outsiders involved. So yeah. But that's okay. That's just how businesses have to navigate sometimes, correct?
Yeah,
So yeah.
if only there was a place where there's
Yeah.
nothing but motivated people who don't want to get paid, and that's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, what a wonderful world that would be
Pretty amazing.
for sure. So yeah, absolutely. So, labor's been a little bit of a challenge. Do your customers really? It doesn't sound like they have visibility to your orders either. So it sounds like well, I mean, they do. They come in and talk to you, right? That's the how that
Mhm.
works. Talk supply chain. Is there a bottleneck that if you solved it would maybe unlock some significant growth?
Um, no, I hear about bottlenecks
When
all the time.
when you can,
I guess like comes down to like
yeah,
maybe like one inspection. Parts will start getting lined up
mm,
and they're waiting for inspection.
sure,
I have a guy named Mike, and so he and I are mostly the people who give the green light for the inspection parts or like quality. And so he and I are, he's my lathe guy, and so he's tasked out like crazy,
hmm
and then I'm quite busy, and so parts are kind of like getting put on the quality table. And we need to get to it, and they're not getting inspected, so we don't know if we can continue the run. And so, yeah, kind of doing something along that lines, getting the inspection more dialed in, just getting everything
yeah,
dialed in. That's
yeah,
just my biggest issue.
yeah.
Like we know how to do it, just
Sounds
getting them
it's
all
one.
dialed in.
Good. Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate you being on today. Been great to yeah, thanks again. You've been awesome. It's cool. Very cool. All right. Have a great day. Thank you.